So, it's been about 8-9 days since I started fasting. Not fasting, just not eating food. I did, 2 days ago I had a salad, so I kind of cheated it there, but in this way I would have normally eaten fucking cookies. And I've been bored out of my brains. It's been the main thing, because I can fill up. I can make myself feel full. Water alone, not that I would just do that. But I just got a fridge that's got water coming out of it, so it's amazing. Cold filtered water with ice and everything. It's a fucking amazing thing, right? I lived in a van for years, so you can imagine the difference in having full on electricity everywhere I look. And a refrigeration, being able to stand up, it's amazing. In terms of the hairpiece, I took off that little low density one because it was really becoming quite visible, and I had to walk down the street and get some stuff from the chemist, tampons and whatever, and I just felt, no, it's just too bad. This is the one that was pineappling up. I put it back on. It's all carved to shit, but I just put it back on. I am really feeling like I'm running short on hair pieces. That year's supply, even though that fluff thing seemed to work in that previous video, don't know if I can fully trust it all the time. In terms of exercise, I haven't walked every day, but I've walked most days. And the weird thing is, with the clothes I've been putting on, nothing seems to suit me. I'm looking in the mirror more now that I'm losing weight, just to sort of check. You know, I haven't noticed any differences. In fact, I felt like I've been bloating out, like getting fatter. But this is what happened last time. It's almost like the reserves of fat cells, and this is something I've heard they actually do, lipids. You can have a lower quantity, so the fat actually leaves the body through your piss, right? Your piss, the fat gets used up, it goes through your kidneys, I think, and then goes out into your bladder, and you piss the fat out of your body. That's how I'm getting rid of the fat. So, by not intaking more fat, I'm just having vegetable soup and low-fat protein shakes with low-fat milk. That's basically it. And chewing gum to not drive myself crazy by being bored out of my brains. But also desensitizing myself a bit from flavors, although I'm always putting salt and pepper in the soup, and I'm always having chocolate or banana or strawberry flavored protein shake, so it's not like I'm really being deprived of flavor. But yeah, I am bored when I think to myself, oh, nachos, you know, with guacamole and sour cream and salsa with melted cheese all over it. Crunchy corn chips, shut up. I can deal with it. I can deal with it because nothing tastes better than being thin. The hair pieces, this is not really good enough when I'm wearing it. It's not something I would be comfortable wearing on a television show or anything. But the thing was, I was so overweight, and I was mid-range fat as well. You got to go full fat if you want to be a fat dude on television. You can't be mid-range. It just looks amateur, right? You've either got to be in shape, be ultra skinny as some kind of weird, wacky character, as like a sidekick or something, or you got to be in shape. They're the three options. You can't be midway, rangy, fucking just melted candle a little bit, like I have been, but starting to bludge out with double chin and everything. So I feel like I have been losing weight over the last 10 days, even though it feels, I feel like I've lost it. I think I know that I've lost some corpulence, but I think the lipids have actually lessened in number, but expanded in size. And I think that's what's happening inside my body right now. The little fat cells that were always squeezed in, because there were trillions of them. I don't know how many fat cells fit in my body, but trillions of them, right? And then all of a sudden, there are less and less and less, and so these ones go, oh, fuck, now I've got some space to become big, chunky lipids. So I think that's why I go through this phase of not being able to stick my belly out, bursting the seams of my belt all the time for a couple of days, and then I start flaring out. It's like, this isn't working. But I'm going to stick with it, because this is what happened last time, 10 years ago. Or about 10, 15 years ago, when I lost 22 kilograms. I was 110 kilograms. I don't want to translate that into old man speak. You do it. British people tend to use stone, which is what I used back in the 80s, when stone was still a thing. And I think use pounds and ounces or something in America. I don't know how that shit works. It's just probably just double it. So 110 kilograms, probably like 220 pounds or something. So anyway, I dropped off 22 kilograms, probably, let's say 44 pounds. Don't know how many stone in 8 weeks, just from liquid diet and lots of walking. You might think, well, if you just ate the same amount as usual and you increased your walking, you would burn the calories that you would normally not burn from sitting in a chair anyway. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, but there's no motivation to get up and walk. And I haven't been feeling the motivation to get up and walk either anyway recently, but I am getting out of a chair more easily now. The other thing to trick myself with in the first couple of days when I went for a walk and I felt like every cell in my body was dying. It wasn't just like water, right? It was, oh my God, I ache. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. That's what it feels like. I've been doing no weight training or not much walking really at all. For about 5 out of the last 10 days I've gone for a walk of a kilometre or more. A kilometre is basically around the block. And if you don't understand what a block is, it's a block of land where you just stay to the streets on the houses that are connected to your property. If you live on a farm, that's going to be a big block. If you live next to a national park or a golf course or something, suck it up, because that's going to be your block. I recommend you walk around it every day. If you've got a small block, lucky you, you could just do 1 block, that's it. If you're not doing anything, that's what you need to be doing. At least go for a walk around the block as the sun sets. Look at the sunset, it's beautiful. And get a rain jacket and take it with you. Unless you live in the desert, in which case you probably don't need one. Probably just goggles to protect your eyes from the sand. And don't forget to take your mask, because if you're allowed to even leave the house in your place at the moment with COVID restrictions everywhere, like we're allowed to have 2 hours a day and we're allowed to leave the house until 9 p.m. and then after that we can't. Because the COVID cases have massively increased in Australia. Not stupidly like in third world countries and stuff like America and UK, where you like got people dying. We don't have actually people dying. Of course not. It's just precautionary measures so we don't end up like you, right? No, we have a couple of people dying. About 4 people have died this week, I think, in Australia from COVID. So it could have been cancer, but they also had COVID and then they died. And then we went, all right, that's COVID. Anyway, I feel like I'm gonna keep this up. So I'll let you know what happens after I pass the 2-week mark. I think it's probably good for me to be doing this. It's about time, because I was going down and down and down and down and down. I still feel extreme pain, so emotionally. I used to call it depression, but I've since learned that depression is something that you can't simply have a solution in life for a real life event and then the depression goes away. Whereas in my situation, I can, because I'm actually heartbroken. My father hasn't given me closure, and basically I've just drilled it down into the whole idea now that I've stopped talking to my mum and I've got clarity, because she's not brainwashing me into thinking he does love you, right? I know it's been child abuse, extreme child abuse, and he's attempted to kill me, basically. In a lot of situations where I've threatened to kill myself, he's kind of pushed me towards that. Yeah, just fucking get rid of yourself. I hate you. You've ruined my life, son. So I want to take him to court rather than murder him, because I don't want the consequences to fall back on me, even though choking him to death would be something that I could live with. More probably I wouldn't just kill him. I'd put him in an oubliette. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
From a place of loving others and sharing what we've been given and sharing hope and light to people, so that's really special to me and really important.
I used to be like that. Yeah, when I had Jesus on my back, it was so much better. There was something, not just hopelessness. Maybe I gotta start praying to something again.